So one of the features we're going to look at is what we call work in progress. So right here I have an image that I started with, the original truck image for a client of mine, and since then I've actually cut it out and I've added some effects here to make it look like those LED bars were on, because the photo was taken in the day and really wasn't that great of a photo. It was just to show off the bumper, but in this case we really wanted to make it stand out and be one of the featured images on the website. So I want to show the progress and the progression of this image. Now I don't really want to show just the plain photo, so I'll start here and just show where I've got the truck already kind of cut out with the lights and stuff. And what we'll do is I'll come up to File, I'll come down to Share on Behance, and then it's going to open up with the preview of my image and give me the option to set this as new work or revision. And in this case this will be brand new. I haven't put anything up yet for this project. I'll give it a title and I'll just call it Tough Country. And then we can give it some tags. In this case I'll just call it web design, and then I can post a comment to start the conversation, but in this case I'll just leave it alone. We'll leave it visible to everybody, or we can make it private. Either way, in this case I might just make it private since I'm just showing you this as an example. I'll hit continue, and just like that my work is live. So I can either close this here and go into my workflow, or we can view it on Behance. So let's go ahead and just take a look real quick. And we're given the option to promote it via social media. We can also copy the link to it and share it on anything else we want. I'll close this and you can see we've got the Tough Country name up here. We can have a discussion about it, and then as we post new revisions they'll show up down here as thumbnails. So let's go ahead and do that real quick. I'll jump over into Photoshop, I'll close this window, and then I'll open up another document where I've actually started to put this into a scene that we're going to use on the home page as one of the image sliders. So I'll go ahead and do the same thing. We'll come up to File, Share on Behance. This time what I'm going to do is click on Revision, and I can choose an existing project to add this to. So we'll click on that Tough Country project, and it automatically populates it with tags from whatever I tagged before. Again, we can change these items down here, and I'm just going to hit continue. Actually, let's put a comment in it this time, and we'll just say starting to flesh out the homepage slider image. We'll hit continue. And I've had it stall on me a couple times where you click update for the revision and it sits here and it says saving for a long time, and it looks like it's about to do that to me again. So what I'm going to do is just X out up here on the top left, and sometimes when I do that I get a little spinner cursor on my Photoshop icon. Sometimes it works just fine and it's ready to go. So what I'm going to do is jump over to my Behance page here, and I'll click on work in progress. And there's the latest one, and sure enough it's already up there. I'm not sure if that's a bug that'll be fixed when you're actually watching this, but if it does stall out on you, you can just X out like that and it seems to work just fine. Down here you can see the revisions, and as you add more and more you'll see the most current revision down here on the bottom left, and you'll see thumbnails for the stages along the way. So it's a really great feature to start showing and getting feedback from people. And then the other thing you can do, if you messed up and you want to erase it or move it or edit it, just go back to your work in progress page, hover over the top here, and you see a little pencil icon. You can convert this to a draft, which will then save it into your actual projects area, which will then also dynamically update your portfolio website. Or in this case I can hit edit or delete. We'll hit edit right now, and I could come in here and I could delete just this revision if I wanted to, or make any other changes I want, but I'll cancel for now. So that's how you would export a work in progress directly from Photoshop, or get it ready so then you can update it as a draft and then save it as an actual project. Another thing we're going to look at here, now we're in Illustrator, and here's this logo that we did earlier in the course, and I want to show you a couple more things here as well. So if we do the same thing, let's say we want to share a project, we've got all these artboards here. Let's just go ahead and come up here to File, and we'll go to Share on Behance. And you'll notice that when I selected that, I had my details artboard selected. If we look over here on the right, we have this artboards window which shows us which one is selected. So I just have that details artboard selected. And another way to tell, it's probably tough to see on the screen capture, but there's a really subtle black line that shows up around whichever canvas is targeted. Anyway, that being said, you'll notice it doesn't pull all of my artboards. It only pulls whichever one is currently featured. So same thing, I could come in here and I could give it a title, and we'll just call it DM logo. And the tags, we'll give it logo. and just a sample logo design. And we'll make this one private as well, but usually I would post to everybody if I had a more polished piece to show. But right now this is just to get you up and running here. So we'll hit continue. And you'll see that this works just like it did on Photoshop. So I'll go ahead and we'll view and share this on Behance real quick. Let's take a look at that. I'm going to close this window, and here we go. We have our DM logo. We've got the revisions thing just like we expected. So I could go ahead and do the same thing here and export these one at a time. That's one way to do it, but then it adds it as different revisions. So I can also target whichever artboard. So if we want to do the one color or the full color icon, I'll click on that, and I can go to share on Behance. But this is where uploading directly to Behance might be more handy. So what I'll do is I'll click on Add Work, and I'll click on Upload Files. And I'm going to grab those final logo files that I exported. And in this case, this is where it comes really handy that I already split out all those files, the different file types, whether it's a PNG or JPEG or whatever. In this case, I'll grab my details artboard and my full color and my one color logos, and I'll open all of those at once. And this is the difference between exporting directly from Photoshop versus uploading a new project into Behance or your portfolio site. Is now I can do multiple images at once, and I can stack them up. I can give it the name here and go through and get this looking exactly how I want it to with the customized design options here on the left. So I can save this and come to it later, or I can hit continue. In this case, we'll name the project DM logo. And I would give it a more descriptive name for search engine reasons, so that way when people are searching to discover artwork, they might actually find you. I'll hit continue. And now we can upload a custom cover image. So let's take a look at that real quick. We can click on upload image and grab one of these, but it's going to have a problem if the image isn't more of a rectangle. It'll actually give you an error. So what I've done is I've pulled up what the specs need to be for your own custom image size. So what we're going to do is finish uploading that project just using the generic thumbnail, and then in the next video we'll come back and use these dimensions to create a custom thumbnail. So let's just jump back over here real quick to, there it is. We'll upload an image straight from my details page, which again, I wouldn't want to use this because it's such a small image and it's a PNG, so it gets a black background. This is really not ideal for showing off this work very well, but I'll go ahead and crop and continue. And then we can set in the creative field. So for example, graphic design and branding, maybe typography or digital art. There's a lot of different categories in here that would work well for this, but for now we'll just leave it like that. I'll hit done, and it has to have tags and descriptions, so let's just call this logo design, logo, illustrator, and you could name a whole bunch of other project tags. This again is just for sorting and SEO so people can find it. Project description, and we'll just call this just a sample logo for fun. And we can, this is where it's awesome, we can click push to pro site and select a page. In this case, I'll send it straight to my gallery. And we can also control the placement, whether it's first or last in line. And then I'll go ahead and hit publish. Once it's done loading, we can promote our work again with the custom link or directly using one of the social icons here. And here we see my project gets loaded in, and even cooler, if we jump over to our Photoshop website and I'll click on Edit My Portfolio, it'll redirect me to my personal portfolio page because I'm logged in with the Creative Cloud. And you can see at the top here, give it a second to load, that logo came in automatically. I didn't have to do anything to it. So if I actually preview my website right now, if I click preview, I updated it in one spot and it came over into both places. So in the next lesson, what we're going to do is take a quick look at how to create custom web graphics for this. We're going to create a custom cover image and show you the difference between working with print versus web. We've been working in print predominantly up until this point. So let's go ahead and do that now.